Hey, it's me, Elijah Music. Guess what? It's time for another edition of my political life video blog. Now, as I said last night, or should I say over the weekend on my radio show on the Blaze Radio Network, so it's last Saturday night's television show on only on Fox. And you know why? Because the NFL players took did disrespectful chopping down one knee because everybody knows about the national anthem protest just before the game started. Now, today, I cannot believe this. According to Blaze.com, here's why I don't believe. The NFL responds to Trump. Trump's attacking on the national anthem protest just before this game, in London, England. And I have no objection whatsoever. So, here's why it happens. Because Chris Inlow wrote this piece, according to Blaze.com. So, in this first games, since President Trump's controversial remarks on, you guessed it, the national anthem, national anthem protest. Just remember last Friday, Trump says the speech, and you know why? Because he addresses the national anthem protest and gets explicit. Listen to you guessed it. That's right. President Trump says the following, and you may not believe your eyes and ears. Just listen to this. Listen to this.
Luther and I and everyone in this arena tonight are unified by the same great American values. We're proud of our country. We respect our flag. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Now you see what happens? Okay, you see? See? Everybody knows Keep It Civilized about, you guessed it, NFL National Anthem protest. Just remember that Colin Kaepernick gets down one knee and doesn't. Now that's why he doesn't want to get up. That's why Colin doesn't want to get up. And why? Because he doesn't like national anthems. You wish. And this is what happens. What happens to this one's gonna be the worst thing that happened again and again. So here's what happens between the Jacksonville Jaguars take over Baltimore Ravens. Kneeled in protesting during the national anthem before the games in the UK, just for today, because the number of players participating in this protest, you guessed it, because it was being much more than normal, and that's why it tried to spur those comments that President Trump just made over the weekend. And this is why for those of you, for those who didn't protest, each player, coach, and team staff member. And now you know what happens. Because the staff member tried to lock arms on the sideline, and then the Jaguars' own Shad Khan stood on the sidelines in solitary with his team. No. It doesn't make sense. Listen to this. And you tell me what you think about this one. This could be worse. Listen to this.
fast gleaming.
Now you see what happens according to the NFL Network, and this is gonna be, yeah. So why? I tell you one thing is because what did Trump said that he was say, and what has the fallout? Because he said, because you know who, because everybody knows that he tried to characterizing with this protest and says that it's, you know what it says, a total disrespect of our heritage and a total disrespect of everything that we stand for. So the backlash is this. If you know what I'm talking about, the backlash. And just remember, the backlash was being, immediately and swift for these athletes of every sport, including NBA, NBA and, oh gosh, could be the social media as far as we're concerned. And this is what happens. So here's my response. Because you know why? Everybody knows a total disrespect of heritage and a total disrespect of everything that we stand for. So here's why I respond. According to this one, Roger Goodell says in a huge statement, says the NFL and our players are at best when we help create a sense of unity in our country and our culture. There is no better example than the amazing response from our clubs and players to the terrible natural disasters we experiencing over last month. Oh, really, Mr. Goodell? What have I told you last night? What did I told you, Roger Goodell? You don't listen, do you? Most of this one is gonna be, right square in the eye against Trump, says. And look at this. Sean King, Jamel Hill, Max Boot, and Mark Harrison goes under others. Others, so who knows? Could be civilized, or it could be the social media that everybody knows. Now, here's why. This is what happens if you know what I mean. Because the backlash, now every athlete of every sport, including NBA Great Zone, you get grades, yes, you guessed it. LeBron James and Steph Curry try to denounce the comments, and especially Roger Goodell and NFL owners try to condemn Trump to vast majority of Americans try to, and he also try to commend the comments. And why? Give me one of the reasons why that the left is so hard to find. It could be a wishy-washy world. Because here's why. So here's why I really don't believe this. Because he has denounced that they believe in a very important issue to condemn this mess. And in response, the protesters would continue to be magnified, and even one Major League Baseball player found himself on a knee. Ugh, so stupid. And that is so dumb. Sean King is a stupid activist. Says that he talked to dozens of NFL players and hundreds confirmation their plans to protest. No way. You cannot protest it like that. And what do we get? Yeah. Now, this is gonna be so stupid. Did you hear about NFL superstar has it down pat and it makes it clear on everybody else try to protest this, and many players doesn't even like it. Listen to this from, you guessed it. What's his name? Yes, Burgess Owens. And he told on via Skype on Fox and Friends, and I have words of wisdom for these national anthem protesting buffoons inside the NFL. Listen to this from Burgess.
Let me tell you what our responsibility, and every generation has done this throughout the history of our country, is to give our kids more hope than we had. My parents' generation, my grandparents' generation succeeded. That's how they fought racism. We have the greatest country and the most freedom today, and we have more people, particularly Black Americans, who have less hope. And that's because they have very successful men telling them that they can do it, but the Black Americans can't do it. It's really time for us to stand up as men and say, listen, guys, this country gives us everything we want to. I did it. You can do it too. And stop the whole thing of, if you don't want to, if you want to have demonstrate someplace else, but not against our flag that gives us the freedom to be the greatest country and the greatest people in the history of mankind.
You see what happens? Because it's not the first time that he's spoken. Burgess Owens, a self-described conservative like me, and the rest of us conservatives too, has been spoken against the protests and other recent social justice movements like Black Lives Matter or whatever happens. That's why he tried to speak out against the recent protest in St. Louis. This is in St. Louis. And why? Because he recently wrote an op-ed on Fox News on the word so doesn't anybody else knows? So when did the protesters begin? I have no clue whatsoever, because the kneeling just last last year after Colin Kaepernick, and that's what he plays the San Francisco 49ers. And this is going to be your object to it, Mr. Kaepernick. You got to start asking for forgiveness inside this church. You better go to church and you pray for forgiveness, and I have nothing to do with it. Well, I guess who knows? The moral story is, when do you ever learn NFL national anthem protesting buffoons how to stop? Look at the flag. Put your right hand over your heart and tell me what you see. Stars and stripes. Red, white, and blue. Think about that before you goes one out ear or the other. As for you, Nebraska, as for you, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, shame on you. Shame on you. What else can I say? Anyways, That's my political life video blog story, and I'm sticking to it.